At 2:40 a.m. on December 3, 2025, a Portuguese-flagged gas carrier called the CGAS Saturn is moving through calm water off the coast of West Africa, running a standard night watch. In the next 20 minutes, 9 of its crew will be gone. And this stretch of ocean, barely the width of the English Channel, will do something it already did 20 times that year. It will make people disappear. 4 decks below the bridge, in the heat of the engine room, one crew member is standing his watch alone. We won't use his real name. No public account from this crew has ever been released, so for this story we'll call him by his role, the second engineer. It's a shift he's done hundreds of times. What he doesn't know yet is that a small, unlit boat has been running parallel to the Saturn's wake for 11 minutes, and it's now closing on the stern. In 2025, 4 kidnapping operations in this one stretch of ocean accounted for 92% of every ship's crew member taken hostage anywhere on Earth. Not the most incidents on the planet, the Singapore Strait logged nearly 4 times as many. But almost nowhere else do the people who board a ship come specifically for person, not the cargo. Here's how 3 of those operations actually happened, minute by minute, and how one shift in an engine room ends up deciding who goes home. You'd assume an attack like this looks chaotic, a smash and grab in the dark. The data says otherwise. Using incident reports filed with the International Maritime Bureau's Piracy Reporting Center and security advisories published by the U.S. Maritime Administration, we've plotted every documented boarding in this region over the last 13 months onto one map. This is the Gulf of Guinea. Mapped. To understand what happens next, you have to understand the shape of this water. The Gulf of Guinea isn't open ocean pirates roam looking for targets, it's a funnel. Ships bound for Lagos, Port Harcourt, and the export terminals of the Niger Delta all compress into the same shipping lanes 40 to 80 nautical miles offshore. Low, slow, fully loaded, easy to catch. At 2:47 a.m., the skiff pulls alongside the Saturn's stern, where wake noise covers the engine and the freeboard. The height of the deck above the waterline is lowest. A hooked ladder goes up. 4 men are aboard within 90 seconds. This is the part almost nobody outside the shipping industry knows. Kidnap for ransom crews don't head for the bridge first. According to U.S. Maritime Administration advisories, they go looking for senior and foreign crew specifically. The master, the chief engineer, anyone whose passport makes them valuable. Below deck, the second engineer hears the change before he understands it. Footsteps that aren't the 2 other men on his watch. He has maybe 4 seconds to decide. Hit the alarm panel 6 feet away or stay silent and hope they pass. He reaches for it. He doesn't get there. By 3:02 a.m., the Saturn's crew is mustered on deck at gunpoint. 9 names are called. The rest are ordered below and told not to touch the radio for an hour. The skiff with 9 hostages aboard is gone into the dark before the nearest naval patrol, 30 miles east, even gets the alert. Here's what makes the Gulf of Guinea different from every other piracy hotspot on Earth. The hostages don't stay on a boat. Within hours, they're moved ashore into the creeks and mangrove channels of the Niger Delta, a maze of waterways so dense that naval vessels can't follow, and so fragmented by jurisdiction that pursuit becomes a legal question before it's a tactical one. It's not a hideout so much as a market. Ransom negotiations for Gulf of Guinea hostages typically run 2 to 6 weeks, by phone, through intermediaries. Just 5 weeks into 2026, the same playbook runs again, 600 nautical miles south, off the coast of Gabon, a country that barely used to appear on piracy maps at all. On January 10th, armed men board a merchant vessel and take 9 crew. 9 again. But this time, it isn't one senior officer being singled out. It's almost the entire watch. And the reason why is where this gets interesting. Gabon's appearance on this map matters, because it breaks the old assumption that Gulf of Guinea piracy is a Nigeria problem with occasional overflow. Regional navies spent the last 5 years building the kind of coordinated patrol coverage that researchers credit for keeping total incidents in the region near their lowest levels in over a decade. 21 reported in all of 2025, down from a peak of 84 in 2020. But the people still getting taken tells a different story. Kidnappings in the region nearly doubled year over year, and operations are ranging further from the traditional Niger Delta core into Gabonese, even Equatorial Guinean waters, where naval coverage is thinner and response time is longer. Aboard the vessel off Gabon, the captain has roughly 90 seconds between a radio warning from a nearby fishing boat and the pirates reaching the bridge. There's a decision every captain in this water trains for and almost never wants to make. Order the crew into the ship's citadel, a reinforced safe room built for exactly this, or muster them on deck and hope compliance ends it faster. This crew doesn't reach the citadel in time. 9 men are taken. The wider pattern should worry the shipping industry more than any single incident. The frontier of this kind of piracy is moving, and the security architecture built for Nigeria's coast doesn't fully reach where it's moving to. So who actually buys these ransoms back? Mostly the shipowners' insurers, kidnap and ransom policies that exist specifically for this trade lane, priced per maritime underwriters, higher for the Gulf of Guinea than almost anywhere else on Earth. It's a strange economy, an entire private insurance market built around the predictable fact that some percentage of ships moving through this water will have people taken off them, and that those people, statistically, almost always come home. For a price. Not every operation in this water looks like the last two. On May 30th, 2025, a Curacao-flagged vessel called the Orange Frost is moving through the same general waters when it's approached, but this time only one person is taken, the ship's second engineer. One person, off an entire crew. That's not a smaller crime. According to maritime security analysts, it's often a more calculated one. A single high-value crew member, targeted specifically, taken quickly, with none of the chaos of a full mustering. Fewer witnesses, fewer variables. A faster, quieter operation. For the engineer, the difference is everything. There's no group to disappear into, no other crew member absorbing the pirate's attention. He is, from the first second, the entire operation. The decision that matters isn't whether to resist, it's whether to speak, to give a name, a nationality, anything that might change his value in a negotiation he doesn't yet know is coming. Silence, in that moment, is the only leverage he has left. He's gone before the rest of the Orange Frost's crew finishes checking the lower decks. As of this writing, no public confirmation has been released on his current status. Now, an honest complication in all three of these stories. The International Maritime Bureau and the U.S. Maritime Administration confirm the dates, the vessel names, the flags, and the number of people taken in each incident. That part is solid, cross-checked across 2 independent maritime security organizations. What isn't public is what happened after. Gulf of Guinea kidnap for ransom cases are, by design, resolved quietly. Shipowners and insurers have every incentive to keep negotiations and outcomes out of the press, both to protect ongoing cases and because publicity can raise the price of the next one. Most hostages in this region are eventually released. Not all. And for the 3 crews in this video, their current status, at the time this was researched, is not something either agency has made public. These aren't isolated crimes happening to unlucky ships. They're the visible edge of a functioning, self-sustaining market, one where the product is a person, the currency is patience, and the whole system runs quietly enough that most of the world driving past a gas station has no idea the fuel in the tank passed through these exact waters, on a ship exactly like the Saturn. If you think a kidnapping economy built around cargo ships sounds extreme, wait until you see what happens 600 miles north, where an entirely different kind of ship gets targeted, not for its crew, but for what's welded to its deck. I made an entire video mapping that one too, and you can watch it right here.